All right, welcome forward into yet another 820 episode, another dispatch towards our commonly shared quality of living called resilience. No bona fide 100% answers here, but definitely 100% intention in helping you to draw out from yourself and express to yourself the kind of questions that will guide you on your path of resilience. Today's topic is called About You. But this is really not about you. And not really you at all, or me for that case. But for example, when or if someone asked you this question, who are you? Who are you? How would you respond to that question? Let's say it's in an elevator or at the airport and you're waiting for your flight and you exchange, the niceties and the gratuities being total strangers on a flight. But in waiting, they ask that question, who are you? You might respond with an excerpt or a summary of your best parts, the best parts of your history to date, or a summary of your tradition, or simply a quick review of how great you are or you were. Meaning maybe you recite or summarize all the degrees and the awards and achievements and accomplishments from back in the day. Maybe even include what happened just yesterday. I would think you would agree with me that'd be the typical response. But even if that verbal dissertation is complete or damn near comprehensive of all that you have done up until that particular conversation, even those wonderful statements you might have stated were only about you. Yet they never touched on or inferred the definition of you essentially. Now, I am poking at myself and you at the same time right now. It's very easy to launch into some eloquent diatribe about me, but more difficult to summarize me aside from my sketchy resume. I do feel more confident and humble nowadays to answer that question now. I've thought about that. Again, it's not just me to share that question to you. It's really for me to take in, wrestle with, work with, and be honest about dealing with that kind of question. So yes, if you have had a chance to check out the website, 820podcast.com, you'll get a quick smattering of who I am, I guess on the surface, and some level of quote-unquote history. So yes, I have done some great and maybe miraculous stuff in my 60 plus years of existence. There's not much there to brag about, especially if I were to include the other hidden pages of that resume. So I resist the idea to recite my diplomas, credentials, training, all that kind of stuff. Those things that I did earn honestly. But as I said, those are simply and only topical aspects of me and only about me. Much of that that I accomplished or failed in was externally imposed as challenges and tests and trials. I have one or two actual trials, by the way, in a history summary. But still, They were just experiences around, outside of, and about my travels. So, back to the original question. So, who am I? Who am I? I can tell you this, and I want to try and keep it short. Not just in respect to these limited 500 seconds that we have to share right now. No, because I've said before, firstly, this is an urgency meeting concerning resilience. Secondly, I absolutely hate longer than necessary meetings. So here we go. 2 things to consider the whole who I am question. Are you ready? I am a competent and dangerous warrior. Number 2, I am fiercely loyal and fiercely independent. That's it. As I said, I have observed that question for a while now, and I have posed it to people outside of myself, but then I had to put that question to test to myself. Who am I? That I can actually answer that instead of going through that recitation of things have on a wall or have in my wallet. I am a competent and dangerous warrior. I am fiercely loyal and fiercely independent. Not a lot of fluff there, but at least you can further question me on those statements that capture the question and that I choose to live by or through those answers. Sometimes I do those well and approach those 2 criteria myself, and sometimes with inherent flaws in executing on those 2 aspects of me. But I now appreciate that about me, and that's something I can share with anybody without any hesitation. With you in this podcast episode, or with someone that I don't even know on the street, or, like I said earlier, in the scenario of being at the airport, waiting for a flight, and that question comes up just in the flow of the conversation. Now, that may not be your preference for developing a friend or maintaining a friendship with someone like me with that kind of an answer, but that's cool. I'm not everyone's cup of tea or straight bourbon, no chaser. But at least you now know and can appreciate, I guess, some one level down substance of this guy you're listening to today. Take the time and patience and courage to answer that question for yourself. Who are you? And do that before someone catches you in the elevator or at the airport. Take care. Stay present. Stay current. Remember, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a total stranger, hey, it's 8:20.